As the attacks and threats from Israel's north continue to ramp up, there is new reporting Hezbollah is getting help from Russia's premier fighting force, the Wagner Group. The Wall Street Journal reporting they're providing the group, which is also backed by Iran, with air defenses capable of thwarting airstrikes like the ones Israel has been carrying out in this war. So far, the U.S. has not confirmed those systems have been sent, but consider the delivery a, quote, major concern. So let's bring in now John Hardy, Deputy Director of the Foundation for Defense of Democracy's Russia program. Thank you so much for giving us some of your time. Obviously, this new reporting coming out, if it is true, how significant is this to what's happening right now in the Middle East?
Well, thanks for having me. I think what Moscow's probably trying to do here, if the intelligence is accurate, is deter that larger escalation between Israel and Hezbollah that, as your correspondent said, we're sort of waiting on pins and needles for. I think Russia benefits a great deal from the Gaza crisis in distracting the West from Ukraine and sort of cultivating influence in the global South. But I don't think the Kremlin wants to see the conflict widen to include Hezbollah and potentially Iran. There's a lot of risk for Russia's position in Syria, including the Russian troops there.
Yeah, certainly a lot of countries don't want to see this conflict widen. John, we know the U.S. has an aircraft carrier in the Eastern Mediterranean, obviously trying to deter Iran, trying to deter Hezbollah. Does more need to be done potentially?
I think we just have to continue to beat the drum that, the United States stands ready to respond to Hezbollah or Iranian aggression. I think we also, while the U.S. has been, pretty good in telling Iran that it can't get involved, I think we need to impose harsher consequences for the support Iran has already provided to Hamas and Hezbollah and various other terrorist groups in the region, meaning enforcing the sanctions that are on the books against Iran to try to starve them of the revenue that they use to funnel to different groups in the region.
In addition to enforcing that, is there anything else you think that needs to be done?
Well, we certainly need to continue providing Israel with the weapons it needs, precision-guided bombs, things of that nature, so it can operate the way it needs to in Gaza and potentially, hopefully not, but potentially against Hezbollah as well.
And John, do you think it's possibly only a matter of time before Hezbollah does enter this war in Gaza?
That's a great question. I can't say for sure. I'm hoping that Iran sort of wants to keep Hezbollah on the sidelines in reserve as sort of a deterrent against Israel. But like your audience here, I'll be waiting myself.
Yeah, certainly. My last question for you, John. And you alluded to this, but is this an example of why it is important for the U.S. to continue providing that aid to Ukraine in its fight against Russia? Is this an example of, truly how everything is connected?
Certainly, I think the IDF, the Israeli Air Force, has proven itself more than capable of destroying these systems in the past. They've done so in Syria. So I don't think, one pantsir is going to make all that much difference for Hezbollah. But, it's an additional wrinkle for Israel, and it could be more significant depending on the number of systems provided.
Certainly. All right. John Hardy, we thank you for your time and your expertise. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.